Well, Happy New Year. Yahoo is the one, always Yahoo is the one. God is in charge. The universe is running by its lawfulness, and we have a choice. It's a new year. Happy New Year. And anything that doesn't get renewed withers and dies. So this is a great opportunity to look at the year that was, and then look a little ahead, have some foresight and some hindsight of what happened, or what is happening, and where do you really want to go in this year? What do you want to achieve? Who you want to become? What works for you? What doesn't? What makes you happy and what doesn't? And I always recommend follow your bliss, so you will never miss. And my mother, God bless her, always said, the way you make your bed, that's how you sleep. What bed do you want to sleep in? And who do you want to have in your bed? Whose bed do you want to be? Who do you want to share your life? And who you don't want to share your life? To re-examine is always good. To stop for a while and look and examine, and then based on some real understanding of what happened, where you are, where you want to go. Try make a nice bed for yourself. Make a nice life for yourself. Because ultimately, no one lives in your skin. And whatever you do, you're the first beneficiary or the victim of it. And so it's up to you how your life navigates. Yeah, there are all kinds of forces in the universe. And we have to take him into account, no question about that. At the same time, we can adjust our sail as a sailor would on a boat, under waters as they come, given the wind and everything, to get where we want to go, not to miss the opportunity to have a better life this coming year. So I bless you all with a better, happy life, with all kinds of goodies in it. And it's whatever you make, that's how it's gonna be. So that's what I wish for you. And in this series, I like to say a little bit about myself. Being a World War II survivor, a Holocaust survivor as a child, was a rough beginning. Being raised by Holocaust survivors, known malnutrition, hunger, cold, fear, terror, all for being no guilt of my own, nothing I've done. What has an infant done to deserve the kind of life that I basically had to face? But thank God for it all, because it set my life on a healing journey. I recognized early on that unless I heal myself, I will have no life. That a good life, depends on a healthy being. Healthy body, healthy heart, healthy mind. And if you don't have all that, it's a major, major struggle. So I decided that given everything that I've been through and everything that I've learned, to share what I know with you had made my life basically where I started from the hell on earth to basically where I am now. Pretty good. It's pretty nice. It's heaven on earth. As best I know how to make my bed given the circumstances. And I really feel blessed. And I like to pass on the blessing. Until you share, you don't have anything. You have love. Until you love somebody, you don't have love. Having love inside and nobody to give it to, it makes your love not quite happening. Love exists and becomes a reality when it is shared. Wisdom becomes wisdom when it is shared. And until anything is shared, it doesn't really have its full value. You can have all the riches in the world and be a really poor man if you don't know how to share. You can have all the love inside you, but you have no one who wants to. You'd be like a cow who has a lot of milk and no one to take it, and sooner or later, the cow will be in a lot of pain. Same thing is true of humans. If you don't have anybody to love and give your goodness to, you'll end up depressed, anxious, and in pain, spiritual pain, physical pain. Love is the healer. So if you don't love, you don't get healed. And it's just the way it is. So I, in my journey to heal myself and to have a life, went through many, many, many incarnations this lifetime in this body. First incarnation was trying to survive, realizing that life for my parents was dangerous. My life was always in danger. My family's life was in danger. All kinds of nasty, nasty human conditions that the power to survive and thrive is profound. And what makes somebody really work hard to survive? Love. If you love somebody, you'll work harder to provide, to survive, to give. Love is the ultimate motivator. Nothing is as powerful as the power of love. Power of love works by attraction. It doesn't impose itself. If you don't want the milk, don't get near it. If it doesn't interest you, it's not your path. But you'd be missing out on life, because life without love is pretty dull. So, in my journey of self-healing, of trying to survive, I first decided that having been born as a Jewish kid to refugees, not really understanding what was happening and why, I decided to explore what is this Judaism about, and is it worth suffering as you've suffered as the Jews over the ages, to hang on to it? What's in it? What's going on? So my first quest to deal with it was through the culture that I was born into, the rabbis. The rabbis, bearer of the knowledge of Torah. Torah is not preserved in books. A book is a dead page. It comes alive when a person understands it and lives it. That's when it becomes alive. Without the person, a page of the most exquisite wisdom is worth not all that much. Pretty dead. It's the humans that bring love, wisdom, all the goodness to life. So the rabbis helped a lot. I became, my first encounter with a rabbi was when I was about 5 years old. My father, God bless his soul, took me to a rabbi so that the Torah will not be forgotten from Israel. Came in, the rabbi was an old gray man, a Holocaust survivor, and I was his first student in Poland after the war. Not many kids my age survived. I've never met anyone who was under my circumstances who survived. So I looked at him, and he had such a sweet, warm face. He put me on his lap, and he put a drop of honey on a book. And he told me, lick it. I never tasted honey. I didn't know of honey. Who knew of any sugar or anything? I licked it. Boy, it was so sweet. It was so amazing. So and then he told me, you know what, Moshe? In Yiddish, weißt du was, Moshe? The Torah is a sach süßer wie the Honey. The Torah is a lot sweeter than honey. That was my introduction. Coming from a world where I was terrified of people, I mean really terrified of people, this man sort of like, wow, I realized, what loving kindness. And that was my introduction. He taught me some prayers, the Aleph Beth, started teaching me the biblical stories in Yiddish. And that was the highlight of my, and I realized, hey, there's some other kinds of people in the world. People who don't want to kill you and rob you and humiliate you and put you down and make life on earth hell for themselves and for you. But there was loving kindness outside my family. And then my journey, I went on my journey. I became a Hebrew teacher after years of studying Hebrew and Torah and the prophets. And for 3 years, I studied in the Toronto Midrash Alamorim, and I became a Hebrew teacher. And that's how I supported myself for 9 years. I went to work, and went to Hebrew school, and went to work. And then when I got a Hebrew teacher's diploma, I taught Hebrew at night and went to secular school, high school. At the age of 19, I started. 2 years of it, 11 and 12 in Canada, and 13 grade. I didn't know English. I mean, I was a foreign student who went to work as a plumbing apprentice from the age of 15 to 18 and a half or 19. Became a Hebrew teacher and started teaching Hebrew. But my academic background in secular learning was almost non-existent. I knew Torah as much as a young man could, but read and write in English was hard. So, with all my respect for the rabbis and the Torah and the teaching, I realized that I needed more help than that. That there was some other realm of help that I needed to seek out, that the nice stories and the prayers and all that were really good and gave me a door in, but they didn't really take care of my terror, of my fear of the world, of my fear of people, and my anxiety, a free-floating anxiety and nightmares that I suffered from childhood. Waking up at night screaming and peeing in my bed, waking the whole household up, terrorized, And that the rabbis somehow didn't manage to get deep enough into my psyche to help me out. And then I realized that maybe psychology is the way to go. So I turned to psychology, went to New Age, and went through all the different methods of psychotherapy. And been a psychotherapist, I've been a doctor since 1969. Private practice, ran a healing center, trained with the very best on the planet in psychotherapy. Because I realized that psychotherapy is a really very tricky area, and you best know what you're doing if you mess with people's lives. So I kept training and training and training and practicing, helping people out as a psychotherapist. And then I realized that psychotherapy and psychology in general has its limitations. You cannot live on psychotherapy. You cannot really live on psychology. There are helpful tools here and there, but there's a greater picture that those subjects just don't touch. But I didn't stop there. I kept looking. And I kept looking and developed ways to heal myself, and I will share it as time goes on. In the meantime, Happy New Year. Be well. Enjoy life. And that's your only really great option for fulfillment, enjoying your life.